What's up, you guys? It's JCARDENASART. Welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos. If you haven't been here before, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of drawing, a lot of painting. I work with a lot of different materials. I'll give my tips, I give advice, a little bit of everything art related. I want this channel to be very useful to you guys that are learning or intermediate or advanced that want a different point of view on something. Whatever it is, I want to be helpful as much as I possibly can. So if that seems like something you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys. So for today's video, I pulled out this 18 by 24 canvas panel. I was on the fence on whether to do a toucan or gorilla. I really wanted to do one or the other, but I couldn't decide. So I went on my Instagram and I made a poll. It was back and forth all day. It was a tie all day until the very end. I was like, you know what? I'm closing this at 5. Whatever it is, it is. And at the very last hour, everybody just gorilla. So yeah, I'm painting a gorilla today. For those of you that are interested in being more involved, if you want to help me choose what subject I'm going to paint or what materials I'm using, if you want sneak peeks of what I'm working on, go ahead and give me a follow on my Instagram, JCARDENASART. All that will be on their polls, in the comments, story, reels, whatever it is, it's all going to be there. So if you want firsthand, that's where you go. So yeah, let's get started. The very first thing I'm doing is sketching out the gorilla. I'm going straight in with black paint. You already know it's just a sketch to get the composition down, so let's just keep it quick and loose. As for the composition, I want it to look like the gorilla is sitting and kind of like looking off to the side. Not a full side view, but not a full front view either. Just a little bit of both. Head at an angle kind of like thing, and the body's facing us. I liked the idea of showing the legs a little bit. I feel it will make the composition more interesting by giving it like a sense of direction or of depth. I jumped a step here by adding in the darkest areas, but by doing that, I noticed how bold the gorilla looked in black and white. Because of that, I made a decision at the moment to make this into a monochromatic painting. So I'll just be using black and white with a bunch of different shades of gray. I wasn't expecting to do this. I was already looking at what colors to use and everything, but you know. During the blocking in stage, all you do is lay down where all the lightest, darkest, and all the middle tones are. Once the blocking in is done, we can get a bit more precise with the shapes. We can get lighter, we can get darker, still not super detailed, only tighter shapes. More exact lines, a little more curve. You can work in the correct shades or whatever colors you're using. In this case, since I'm using grays, I'll be working in lighter and darker shades of it until I get the right one. I like to use a medium-sized brush during this stage because it'll keep me from getting too detailed and it'll help me with getting tighter shapes. Doing this will define the shape of the gorilla's nose, the arm, the chest, the head, the jaw, and so on. For example, if the chest is too big, I can just make it smaller. Here's a little fun fact about me. The primates are actually my second favorite exhibition to see when I go to a zoo. Anybody want to guess in the comments what my first favorite is? By the way, I am using the same Utrecht brush set from one of my previous videos, the video with the wolf. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it up top so that you can check it out. I ended up really loving these brushes. I was a bit worried because they're really soft, but I love them. Check out the video if you want to hear more about the brushes. And if you want to get the brushes yourself, I'll put a link in the description. Just so you know, the links are affiliate links, so if you make a purchase through those links, I will receive a small commission. I appreciate it. So once I get through this part of the painting, I can switch to an even smaller brush and take the same approach. Tighter shapes, precise on colors. I can be a little more precise on my brush strokes. This time I get a little more detailed. This is also where you would make any final adjustments on the overall form of the subject that you're working on. You don't want to get super detailed and be
practically done with the painting and then you decide to make the eyes bigger, for example, because then you'll need to adjust the nose and the shape of the head and then possibly the mouth. You know, it just avoid it. You get the idea. The smallest brush is left for the really detailed parts. For example, a hair-like brushstroke, which, by the way, you don't want to paint in every strand of hair. You just want enough to make it look like it's hair. And if you play with the shades of the colors right, you can make it look really full. So you don't need to add in every strand. But yeah, the small brushes I use for small highlights on the edges, for example, the lips or the eyelids or even the eyes themselves. The most difficult part about this painting was definitely getting the features of the gorilla's face perfect. I wanted the nose to be the right size. I wanted his eyes to, you know, kind of show you that he was looking off into the distance, and I wanted you to wonder what it was looking at. It was the most difficult because, you know, they have a certain look to them, and I wanted to capture that correctly. And as difficult as it is hands down my favorite part about the painting, which is why I focused so much time on it. As I work on the details, I'll notice some parts could be lighter or sometimes even darker. It's those really small, really light or really dark parts that really make the painting pop. It gives it depth, it gives it contrast, a bit of life. Don't be afraid to go too light or too dark. The great thing about painting, especially with acrylics, is that if you're not 100% satisfied with how it looks, let it dry and paint over it. Normally, I jump around the whole painting while I'm working, but for this one, I focused more on the face and then I moved down to the body. I wanted the majority of the focus to be on the face, so I put a lot more work into it, and then I brought the details of the body to just a little less detailed than the face itself. And as I worked on the body, I felt like the face could be lighter, draw more attention to it, more highlights. So that's what I'm doing. And last but not least, with a Posca paint marker, my signature. Now it's time to show you the final shot.
And there you guys go. I think it came out awesome. I was not expecting it to be black and white, but once I started sketching, like I mentioned in the video, it just like, it got my attention, and I love the way it came out. I love the contrast, I love the look, I love the way like he's just sitting there. I think it came out great. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are interested in purchasing the gorilla, it will be available on my website along with other things like t-shirt. And I have some prints, I have some stickers, I have other artworks that are available. Go ahead, check that out. It's JCARDENASART.com. I will put a link in the description. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching my video. Like I mentioned before, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram if you want to be more involved. Check out my website, and I'll catch you guys soon.